Hello everyone, welcome to 100% Chelsea. Today we are here with Tony and Louis. Hello guys.
How you doing? You alright?
Not bad.
How you doing, bud?
Not bad, thanks. We are going to talk about a topic that I know a lot of you want to know about, something that we want to discuss, our main title contenders. Now we know this year is going to be a lot harder than last year. And we cruised last year, didn't we, in the end?
Yeah, I'd say it was a
blitzed
cruise.
it. But I don't think it's going to be that easy this time around. So we're going to go through all the different sort of teams that we feel will compete for the title and who might just miss out. Right, so first to Tony, who do you think are going to be our main title contenders next year? Who do you see as pushing us all the way in terms of next season?
Arsenal. I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't say Arsenal.
Yeah.
I said Arsenal last season, and I think Arsenal this season.
Yeah.
They'll be the ones. Yeah.
And how about you?
Well, I think it's going to be Arsenal again, yeah. But I also think Man United could push us. I mean, they've made some great signings. They've signed Schweinsteiger, who's a world-class player. I mean, put him in any team, he'll slot right in. He doesn't need time to gain experience in the Premier League. They've signed players like Depay. I mean, people are saying he could be the next Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, he's good enough. He plays well with PSV and he played well at the World Cup last year. And I watched him. I thought he's an excellent little player. Matteo Darmian, he's a very, 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 very good player. He's great for utility. He can go right mid, right back, left mid, left back. He's just a great player. And then maybe signing Otamendi. I mean, he's a world-class centre back. I mean, we were after him.
We're after him, yeah.
But if he goes to Man United, I think they'll have a pretty strong team. I think they'll push us, but maybe not as much as Arsenal, because Arsenal now they've got Czech, so they've got that Didier. JT and Lampard all said it. They said he's going to give them an extra 12, 15 points a season. Yeah. And I mean that means if he'd gone there this season, they would have been right on our tails all the way through. But I think Arsenal and Man United are going to push us. I mean, City need a lot of surgery. I mean, the average age in their team's 27? Would say about 27.
It is.
I mean, if you look at that spine, I mean, you got Joe Hart. He's a keeper. He's 26, 27. So he's all right.
Years, yeah.
He's all right.
Yeah.
But Company's 29. Touré's in his 30s, like he's nearly at the end of his career, and then Aguero's going to hit 30 in the next couple of years. So they've got a couple of years in them, but they haven't got that long. I mean, David Silva's going to be 32, 31, 32. And it's
To be fair, though, they've spent a lot in the last sort of week. They've sort of stepped it up a bit, haven't they? And it's obviously they're trying to get the English contingent up, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
And I know it's a lot been said about what they've paid, with Sterling and that complete U-turn. That's
Delph. Yeah.
Fabian Delph. I mean,
that's heart-wrenching.
What was that all about? Do you know what I mean?
It is.
But the bottom line is, you see United in front of City.
I do see United in front of City. I do. I think United are going to go in front of City because City need that much surgery. Like you were saying at the end of the season. I mean, yeah, you can rely on Yaya Toure all you want, but he's not going to deliver all the time. No. I mean, 2 seasons ago, yeah, on fire, fantastic. Last season, he was nothing. I'm not sure if he did get a birthday cake or something, but this year he might get a cake. Then he might be quite happy. But he might play better. But it's.
Have you seen that on 442 about his cake? Yeah. It's funny that, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Performing an exorcism. It's like, Manuel Pellegrini.
Well, for City, so we're eliminating City. You say they finished fourth.
I'm not.
They were second last year, weren't they?
They were. But whether they'll do the same.
No, you can't.
I think whichever way you look at it, it's the 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's 2 from Manchester, 2 from London.
Yeah.
And I can't see anything changing there.
No, not at all.
But we're sticking with Arsenal as the team who are going to push us. Do you feel?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, and it's difficult now, isn't it? Let's be honest, because there's a long time to go with the transfer window, and obviously that can all change. If Manchester City go out and buy Messi, or I don't know what's going to happen, but you know what I'm saying.
He'd be silly.
Yeah, things can obviously change by who's brought in and who leaves. But if you was to look at it from this point onwards, I'd say it'd be Arsenal. That's just my personal opinion.
I mean, they all need to strengthen in certain places. I mean, like you're saying, City are pushing up the English contingent, spending stupid money, which is what we might end up doing. I mean, John Stones, he's good, great, but he's not worth that money. But City are trying to push up the English contingent, getting these players in and just getting utility and having squad depth. Yeah. And then United are just strengthening overall, and it has worked. I mean, Schweinsteiger's going to work wonders on that team. I honestly think he will do so well. And then Arsenal just need, like we were saying, they need another centre-back. They need another holding midfielder, and they need a world-class striker.
It's exactly the same as what Arsenal have been needing for years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no secret, is it? That's
No.
what Arsenal... If Arsenal had them players put together in the last sort of 2-3 years, they'd have been... I think they would have definitely given us a going last year, and they would have missed... They're the missing ingredients for Arsenal.
Yeah, they're a selling club. They had that over the past few years. I mean...
Yeah, that is a factor. As long as I feel if they don't, keep selling, if they had kept all their players that they had,
if you looked at that Arsenal team, who would you add? You would have Gael Clichy left back, Ashley Cole left back. You would have Sanya. You'd have Fabregas. You'd have Nasri. You'd have
Van Persie.
You'd have Van Persie. You'd have Adebayor. You could make an 11 out of the players that Arsenal sold.
Yeah.
And those teams would be a phenomenal team.
Cesc Fabregas.
Yeah.
Cesc.
Let's not forget Cesc. But I don't know. Yeah, it's they are going to push us the most.
Yeah.
It will definitely be Arsenal, and then I think the other two will be close behind.
But don't you think, though, that all these clubs have to strengthen in order to catch us anyway?
Well, every club has to strengthen.
I mean, so all the emphasis is on what Man United are doing at this moment in time. I mean, they are spending fortunes, aren't they?
They are.
And obviously, Man City have started it off now as well. With the amount of money that they're spending, it's over the top. We know that, but nevertheless, they're spending the money.
But let's have it right. I mean, think of it this way: you've got the players they're spending the money on. City, they're spending it on pretty bog standard average players. Sterling's not a lot. 49 million for Sterling. You're having a laugh.
That's unbelievable. It is unbelievable.
He can run a bit and he can kick the ball, but he can't do much else. If he kicked it 100 metres, he'd catch up with it like that. That's the only reason people are spending that much money on him.
Yeah.
I mean, I was saying I'd have him at Chelsea. I wouldn't. I said like Raheem Sterling-esque. I wouldn't have him, even if it would be to boost English numbers. I mean, he's quick in that, but he just hasn't got... It's his attitude. I'd always worry about his attitude.
Yeah.
And I think that is what's going to hold City back.
I think he'd fit in quite well there, actually. Because I think they're all mercenaries at Man City. I think it fits in lovely there. Don't get me wrong about that one. But if you actually, what you're basically saying is, if you look at what they brought in, there's nothing really to go, whoa, I'm a bit worried now.
No.
That's what I'm saying. If you look at it right now, no one's really spent. Man United have, but then Man United have had to.
Yeah.
If you look at, if you look at our dealings, I mean, it came out yesterday, didn't it, from Mourinho that it's a one-on-one situation. Whoever leaves is just going to replace with that, But I don't think he's going to go, on a massive scale. He's certainly not going to do no 100 million bids for Bale.
No.
I don't think that's the way it's,
We don't need to. We don't need to do a 100 million bid for Bale.
No, I don't think so either.
But he's...
I'd like it.
Anyone would like to have Gareth Bale in that team. He's a Premier League player. He doesn't fit in Spain, if you ask me. But players like... What he needs to do, like if you win a trophy, the mistakes that City have made over the past couple of years, where they've won the league... They've strengthened just bringing in fairly bulk standard average players like you say on Daily Chelsea and Daily Blues. You need to have that world class depth.
Yeah.
And then that's what they haven't done. We're bringing in world class depth. I mean, we're looking at Pedro, aren't we? We're looking at who else? We're looking at we've got Pedro,
Axel Witsel. He's a class player.
Yeah. We're bringing in world class depth. I mean, Witsel would slot right into that team easily. But then. You've got,
it's the strength of the bench.
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it. I mean, if you're going to go like for like, I mean, all right, we're obviously going to get rid of Salah,
Oh, no, it's not.
He's got a number, hasn't he? So is he staying or?
Well, he's got number 11, hasn't he?
He's got number 11.
He's got the Drogba shirt.
Moses maybe the top of him.
Your voice cracked then sort of expresses how we all feel.
Mikel for 33s.
Oh, please get rid of Mikel. I cannot stand him.
I mean, was that a wind-up though? 33 million for Mikel.
Well, it's a deal that involves the transfer fee and his wage.
Right.
So it's a salary that people can't afford.
So it's basically with us, we could offload him. We could easily go, see you later. But
we could, but we're choosing not to because he's still worth something.
Yeah, he's still worth something. But then we could easily say he could go, and then we could bring in someone who could pay his wages.
Yeah.
But the only people who could pay his wages are teams like PSG and that, because they're top level teams. He's going to be going to a Turkish league team, which, I mean, let's be honest, the Turkish league is getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got players like Nani heading over there.
Van Persie's gone there.
Van Persie, Nani, Kuit. Kuit's there. Emenike is a player who shouldn't really be there. He should be in the Premier League, if you ask me. He's quick, he's got strength. He's someone I'd have in a Chelsea team in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But you've got all these people leaving, and then it's become a stronger league. But Mikel he's just too proud to lower his wages.
Yeah.
I mean, Falcao lowered his wages to come to Chelsea. He halved them.
That's class, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you think about it, you see Louis van Gaal, he's almost taking the credit for him doing rubbish last year. He's saying, well, hang on a minute, if basically he's covering his bets really. And if Falcao comes to Chelsea and has an absolute wonder, he goes back to the old Falcao that we, destroyed us. Let's have it right. But if he does, right, okay, Louis van Gaal, he's set it up though, so he's taking a bit of credit.
Said it yesterday, yeah.
It's just madness, really.
You might as well say, oh yeah, all those trophies that Mourinho's won, they're all down to me and Bobby Robson.
He's taken a wage cut, isn't he? The guy wanted to come to Chelsea, he's taken a wage
50%.
cut. I mean, 2 years ago, so what annoys me about it all, there's a lot of laughter about Falcao. But 2 years ago, if you said Falcao and Costa as your strikers,
You do everything
you'd
together.
be doing everything,
Exactly.
But Costa came out of Falcao's shadow. That's why he's done so well. I mean, he was always out on loan, and then he was always pushed out to the left wing or the right wing when Falcao was there.
Yeah.
And then when he became a central striker, he was pushing Ronaldo and Messi for, getting the golden boot, the golden boot in Liga BBVA. But
third striker, though. I mean, if Remy goes, there's obviously the Palace.
Bamford.
I would say that's a good shout. Bamford is a good shout in terms of third striker, because if Remy does go, we have to find someone who's ready to just be third striker, and I don't think anyone is available that's just ready to sit on the bench. But someone like Bamford who's coming up.
I wouldn't get rid of Remy. I think Remy's.
Personally, I don't think he's going. I don't think he's going.
It's like
No.
It's players that should be going like Mikel, because Mikel's just holding back talent. Like Rolls Royce.
You need a 0-0 in the new camp.
You put on Mikel.
You need a Mikel. He's all right for that.
You've got a Matic for that. You've got a Matic for that.
But Mikel is
when you have to close the game down, Mikel is there. Now, obviously, if we're getting someone like Witsel, he doesn't agree. If we get someone like Witsel in, and we have Matic and Witsel, for example, and we're in need, we're 1-0 up, we're struggling because it's just not our day, we have to close the game down, you bring on Mikel and he'll do it. It's a speciality and it works.
But that's what Loftus-Cheek could do. Loftus-Cheek could do that.
He's not ready.
Yeah, I know he's not ready, but he needs game time. He's not going to get it with Mikel, is he?
But you can't tell like an 18-year-old, listen, go on and close the game down, please.
No, you can't do that. But if you sit with someone who can do that, like Matic, who does put the tackles in, he will learn. He will be as good as Mikel. In fact, I'd say he'd be better.
Yeah, no, he will.
Mikel's not all that.
But the thing you say that about Mikel, but every single Chelsea manager, I mean, you don't realise how long he's been at Chelsea.
It's been a long time.
Every single manager has used Mikel. And Mourinho loves Mikel.
Yeah.
So whichever way you look at it, if you want a safe game, you put Mikel in.
No one's decided to sell him. No one's decided to get rid of him because he's useful.
Let's draw a line under it and just say he's like Marmite. You either love him or you hate him. You two love him. I absolutely hate him.
I'm on the fence on it. I recognise his strengths as a player. That's. He's not the greatest player in the world, is he? Offensively, let's have it right. He certainly can't shoot.
Yeah. I've only seen him pass forward once.
But
I'm not even kidding. Once, and that was against the 6-3 against Everton when he put through. I think it was Ramirez.
Yeah.
That's the only time I've seen him pass forward, and that was just a bobble from underneath his foot. It wasn't even a pass.
I was going to say the presidential elections have taken place at Barca.
Yeah.
Now and Laporta, he didn't win.
No, he didn't. No.
And he's all for youth and everything else in here, Barca. So that's good news as far as Pedro's concerned, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
it paves the way for Pedro to come now.
But then
United are to link with him as well, aren't they? And then there's Liverpool sniffing around as well.
No, but let's face it, okay, right. It pays the way for Pedro, but it also paves the way for Pogba to go to Man City.
It does.
Which is where they all strengthen.
It does.
And that's where they need. If you have an engine in the middle of your park, you're going to be a stronger team.
True, but it also.
What's your feeling about Man City then? You've got a
I mean, with Man City, I just think they're going to be the most hated team in England. From this season onwards, they're going to be hated.
Away from us, it's all right, isn't it?
It does. It gives us a bit of time to relax. They signed Sterling, who everyone's going to boo because of what happened at Liverpool. He totally, cocked up that situation.
Well, not everyone will boo. I mean, in the Etihad, you'll have all his kids cheering him on, won't you?
Maybe about 5 or 6.
He'll get destroyed.
Yeah, God forbid. I don't think he'll play. And then they bring in Delph straight after that, who said he was going to stay loyal to Aston Villa. He said, I'm not going to City. I want to keep my captain armband. I want to play for Villa. 48 hours later, He's in Manchester having a medical, unannounced.
I can't believe it.
Paparazzi got a picture of him going into the centre, and suddenly he's a Man City player. And I just think they're going to be the most hated team in England. They're going to be the most hated team.
Well,
but
neither of them play though. I mean, this is.
You see, that's the thing. They splashed all that money.
They're going to
on
rot.
what?
They're going to rot. Do you know who they're going to be? Adam Johnson, Jack Rodwell. Who else was there? There was that kid that was coming through. Who was supposed to be amazing. The ginger guy. He got injured, put on loads of weight. He fell through. Who else you got? You got so many names there. You got Patrick Roberts kid. He's 18.
Yeah.
He's 18. So much potential, and he goes and does that.
Yeah.
Every single English player at City is going to rot on that bench because all they want is they want to have that squad depth to say we have English players. They won't play.
Yeah.
They might play in 2-3 years' time, but they're not going to be as good as they are now because they're not playing.
No,
It's as simple as that.
So we're ruling out City completely from the title.
Pretty much for the title, I would say so.
Oh, right.
I would say so. Well, coming on to that, give us your top 4. Well, let's say top 6. We'll go with top 6 for next year. Starting from 6-5, 6 and up.
You go.
Go on, Louis.
You go first, please. I'm trying to. No. Okay, right.
From 6th place.
Oh, I don't know mine if you want to.
Right. Liverpool Spurs interchangeable. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's set in stone. I'm not 100%.
Okay.
So I'm going to say Liverpool 6th.
Okay.
Spurs 5th. City 4th. Oh God, this is where it gets hard.
Yeah.
Man United 3rd.
All right.
But really, really, really close behind Arsenal, and then us.
And then us.
Fingers crossed.
So we win the league again, don't we?
6 Tottenham.
Okay.
Yeah. 5th Liverpool. Only because the squad's slightly better. And I'll go 4th Man United. I know they've spent, but I still say I don't like Louis van Gaal, do you? There's something about him. I don't know.
True.
Just something. Just something about him.
I agree.
you know, arrogance.
I don't know what it is. Change is just. I don't. I think they'll get stretched. You know that. I really do. I think Man City got better players than Man United, and that's the truth. And that's why I'm putting them 3rd. Second, I go Arsenal because I said Arsenal, and I think we'll win it. But this is based on the current situation right now.
Yeah.
Arsenal, might go out and go and get Benzema, which we're in.
Yeah, who knows?
Stuff like that.
If they sign Benzema, which is I've read that the past 2-3 years, constantly Benzema's Arsenal.
And Higuain, wasn't it? They always link with Higuain.
Yeah,
Higuain's not moving. He's what, 50 million? He's not worth 50 mil.
Yeah.
He's not worth that. I think Benzema will move because what Benitez wants to move Ronaldo into a central striker role, so he can get Bale in more often, and Bale's sort of more the pinnacle of getting the assists, and Ronaldo scores the goals.
Yeah.
So basically,
Man United might get Ramos in the.
Depending on De Gea.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
Well, that's the catalyst for that deal, isn't it?
It is.
I read BBC yesterday. It said that De Gea's not leaving this year.
Could be next year.
It could be, but he'll leave next year on a free. That's like definite.
Yeah.
That will happen, unless United can sign Ramos.
Yeah.
Because all it is going to be is, we want to sign Ramos. Oh, do you? Okay. Give us David De Gea plus this, and you can have Ramos.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be. But then they don't have a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Jesus, De Gea played great up front, if you ask me. But they don't have a keeper.
No, that's true.
And then
Eunice.
Top 6?
Yeah, come on.
If I went top 6, I would go with, I agree, Spurs 6th, Liverpool 5th. You raise a good point about Man United.
Honestly, I just think...
I would say City 4th, but I think they might just... with City, they attack well, they get goals.
Silva, they've still got Aguero, So it's not like they're rubbish, They finished 2nd, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, I know we're knocking them a bit,
Yeah.
because of what they're doing, and
Yeah.
Right. Some people might say we're hypocrites.
That's what everyone's
they might say, but probably that's probably how it's coming across. But the reality of the situation is, right? Have they got better players than Manchester United? Would you rather be in Manchester City shoes right now than Manchester United's?
Yeah, exactly.
Me personally, I think.
But who are you? Are you Fabian Delph? Because I wouldn't be if I was him.
No, but I don't think that will affect their first team. I think he'll play,
He'll be bit part. He'll be cut.
a bit part. Exactly. You know what I mean? And.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But I think Arsenal, they just, I don't know what it is. I mean, Czech will probably save them 8 points a year.
I'll go with, Man United 4th.
Yeah.
City third, Arsenal second, then we'll win the league.
Yeah.
I reckon. Yeah, not 12 points. I think it'll be closer, but we'll win the league. There we are, guys. Thank you all for watching. Louis, Tony, thank you so much. That is our top 6, pretty much, from each of us. Who do you think will be top 6 next season? Give us your thoughts from 1 to 6, and leave us your thoughts on all our title rivals, and who do you think will be challenging us for the league next year. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you soon.